A lovely woman is shown at the starting of the movie named Greta Evans. She has come to UK because she has got the job of a nanny. She has acquired a job as a housekeeper, and this was an affluent family. Greta enters the house and takes off her shoes outside because the whole mansion was completely carpeted. Greta meets a man while exploring the house, and his job was to supply things weekly. The supplier was charming and funny. Then she meets the head of the house and his better half, and they tell her that she has to take care of their son. The shocking thing was when they introduced Greta to their son, and whom they are calling their son was just a doll. They are behaving with the doll like it's a living thing. Greta neglects them, and she was taking all this as a fun. Later she realizes that this was reality, and the aged man and his wife were serious about their son. Then something strange happens that her shoes disappeared, which she removed outside the house. The mistress says this must be done by her son. That night the couple tells Greta that their son liked her. "You are the first caretaker whom our son liked." And the headman tells Greta that he has to go out of the house for his job. After him, Greta will handle the responsibility of the house. Before departing, the headman tells the rules of the house to Greta. Those were strange rules, and she has to follow them. The first rule was Greta has to awaken their son in a loud voice. Then she has to change the clothes of their son. The second rule was that Greta has to tell their son a story every day, because their son prefers it too much. He tells the last rule that Greta has to play the song in loud voice. The leftover won't be wasted, so store it in the freezer. And you have to fix the rat trap outside the house daily, so the rodents won't enter the house. The headman lives with his wife after telling these rules to Greta. She becomes relaxed and doesn't take it seriously, and even doesn't follow any rules. Greta was alone at home and starts talking to her sister while calling her on the landline. She tells her about her old friend and was telling her that her friend asks about her even today. Greta's friend was an evil man. Greta likes him, but he torments her. Greta has shifted here for a job because of this. Greta was enjoying herself in the house calmly, and then realizes that the doll is changing its place. Greta talks to the supplier in the next scene, and he tells the seed of the head died 20 years ago in the fire. Since then, the family considers this doll their son. Here their bonding was getting strong. The supplier invites her to a date, and Greta takes out her favorite dress for the purpose. She goes for a shower, and a strange shadow is seen there. Annie steals the garment and jewelry of Greta. Greta returns after taking the shower, but doesn't find her dress and jewelry. She becomes worried and feels that maybe there is someone except for her in this house. Later, Greta finds the attic. When she goes inside, someone shuts the door. The supplier, who has come outside the house for picking up Greta, rings the bell repeatedly. He calls Greta, but how she can come? She was trapped in the room. She exclaims, but her voice wasn't reaching the supplier. He was ringing the bell and waiting for so long. Then he leaves. Greta is shown, who sees a peculiar shadow in the room. Greta's foot slips when she sees it, and she faints due to falling down. After some time, it was morning. In the morning, the room's door opens, and Greta comes downstairs through the loft ladder. After coming out of the room, she calls the supplier and tells him the incident that transpired at night. She tells that she hears strange voices from the walls of the house. Hearing all this, her friend placates her to sit down. He tells, "Let me tell you one thing." He tells the people say their son who died being burnt was weird. Once the headman of the house told me, being inebriated, that his son is odd. Hearing this, Greta thinks maybe there is their son's soul inside the doll. And the next day, Greta discovers her shoes outside her room. She notices the doll sitting on the bed itself, and there was that paper on which the rules were written. The headman has written the rules of the house on it, which Greta has to follow. Greta becomes frightened that she locks herself in a room. Then the phone in the room suddenly rings. She picks the phone, and there was that doll's voice, and it whispers, "Come, let's play with me." It was calling Greta to play with it and was saying now it will behave nicely. Then she goes outside her room to see someone has pressed a sandwich. She understands there is their son's soul in the doll and now she is taking care of it. On the other side, the head is shown with his spouse. They were on a vacation and ended up drowning themselves in a river. They have left a letter for their son and one for Greta as well, before self-termination. They have written strange things in it, like now Greta is yours. The supplier is shown bringing the letters to Greta the next day, written by the head and his wife. She ignores all this and was scared that she doesn't even go out of the house. She informs her friend that the doll often changes its place. And it does this when none is watching it, and she thinks the soul of their son is shy. It doesn't want to appear in front of everyone. That's why it changes its place in the absence of people. It knocks and thumps at the wall to communicate. Greta says to the supplier, who was her friend, that, "Come, let me show you a small proof." She places the doll in the room and shuts the door. And the doll has altered its place when she opens the door after some time. Her friend becomes shocked to see this and says, "Listen to me, there may be an evil spirit inside it." The man says, "Greta, let me tell you a story of their child. 20 years ago, a young woman used to play with their son. She was his friend. The girl disappeared on the 7th birthday of their son, and the police said they found her cadaver in a forest. Her skull was severely crushed, and before the police investigates their son, their house was set on fire. Their son perished in that flame." Greta also tells him her past story and says, "My friend, whom I liked, used to beat me. That's why I have come here, because of being annoyed by all this for a job." Then Greta's friend is shown arriving here as he has taken her address from her family member. He has come here to take Greta and also book the tickets for the next day for themselves. He is the guy who has come here to take Greta, about whom she told that he used to abuse her. He used to behave rudely with her. But now he is here to take her, and Greta asks the doll for help. She doesn't want to go with him. That night when everyone is sleeping, the blood of the dead rats is shown falling on his face, and someone has written "Get out" with the blood on his window. The man observed this and was feeling like Greta has done all this, and then threatens her to break the doll that was placed there. He has a condition that unless Greta moves with him, he will wreck the doll. Meanwhile, the supplier also turns up and forbids the boy to break the doll. The man was inflamed, and then hits the doll against the table. The doll was broken to fragments, and as it breaks, there were voices around the house. Abruptly, the mirror of the house breaks, and he who came to bring Greta becomes injured due to it. A mysterious human figure is shown appearing from the space of the mirror. There was a mask on his face, and this strange guy kills the man while attacking him. Here we discover that the human was none other than the son of the deceased couple. His name is Brahms, and it reveals that the headman has been hiding his son for 20 years. This boy has murdered his female friend 20 years ago, so his parents have hidden him in order to escape from the police and punishment. They falsified to show everyone that their progeny expired, but there wasn't anything like this. Their child was alive and residing in the walls, and Greta was feeling everything bizarre because of him. Brahms was still alive and doing all this, and Greta was considering the doll behind the action. After finishing Greta's friend, Brahms was behind the supplier and Greta. They were trying to lurk from him and lock themselves in a room. The walls of the house were sealed, and they find out the way to go out of the house. They find a secret room that was inside the walls. That was Brahms' room. He was dwelling there for years. Even he has made a doll there, and Brahms has purloined Greta's clothes. After committing the larceny, he wears them on his doll. Greta finds the last letter of the house headman and gets spooked to read it. They hire Greta in this house for this, and during reading, Brahms comes behind them. He beats Greta's friend brutally. Greta has found the exit of the house and she somehow escaped from there. Greta runs from the house, but then she realizes she has to save her friend. After some time, she returns and says, "Look, Brahms, I have come here only for you." She has kept a screwdriver in her rear pocket. She added more, "Brahms, look, you have to sleep now according to the rules." Brahms obeys her and goes to sleep and demands a goodnight kiss from her before sleeping. Before he comes closer to her, Greta attacks him with the screwdriver. And there was a combat between them, and she makes Brahms wounded. She moves far from the house while taking her friend in the car. An inconspicuous figure is shown in the last scene of the movie who was mending the wrecked doll. And here the film draws the conclusion. Well, that's all for today. Thank you.